What's going on, guys? Alex here with Nickens Landscaping and Excavating. I wanted to bring you guys a quick video today. I've gotten this question a lot on Instagram. Anytime I post a picture or video with this trailer and our mini skid steer is anywhere close to it, they ask me if I'm putting it in the trailer and have we ever had any issues. So I want to make this video today of how we beefed up our enclosed trailer to be able to pull our MT in there every single day. All right, guys, so we started down here on the tailgate. We experienced the wood would crack right in here between these two supports, or right in here between these two supports. So you'd have a couple cracks here, a couple here, a couple here, a couple here, just from pulling in at different angles. And it would take probably a year or more for it to crack that wood. But over the 5 years that we've had this trailer, we have had to replace this rear panel of wood a couple of times. Never really any damage done other than cracking the wood, but we went ahead and put some square tubing in here just to alleviate that pressure, and it's just the initial pressure of pulling off of the street or wherever you're driving off of into the trailer, and it's kind of that initial hit that would start chipping up this wood down here, and over time it would just do its thing. So we did this to hopefully alleviate that, and hopefully we won't have to replace this piece anytime in the near future. All right, guys, so this rear piece right here is about 3.5 foot by 7 foot or whatever. But it was just the dovetail part of the trailer, and this piece got put on a couple years ago. We were having some trouble with these rear floor joists bowing, and we actually had some trouble over here on the corners, so we had to do some bracing over here on the corners, and we put this piece underneath the wood just to help balance the load, I guess is the best way to say it, across the whole trailer rather than just right where the tracks were of the MT. And this solved all the issue we were having back here. So we did what we needed to do underneath, and then we just set this on top. This is a very thin piece. I don't know what it is, 1/16 of an inch, something like that. I don't know what gauge that comes out to be, but it's very thin. It's nothing thick, but it does span the whole trailer, and just like I said, it balances that load. And then coming here on the middle, this is the one we just added, and this is what sparked this whole renovation that we're talking about and showing you guys here. But we had a piece of wood in the middle of the trailer here that cracked, and it kept getting worse and worse, and we weren't really sure what was going on. Well, what happened when we finally got time to pull it off, we got a rain day last week and got time to pull this off and look into it, and one of these cross members here that goes across the trailer, they're very thin, they're just there to hold the floor, but it got wonky and basically like bowed out on us. So the top of the wood here wasn't touching that cross member, and that's what caused it to crack. So when we pulled everything apart, there was a few of them that were bowed, and what we ended up having to do was run a piece of angle in between each cross member going this way. So if you would look underneath this panel here, there is little pieces of angle connecting each one of these cross members all the way up right here, and that really stiffened this trailer up. So if you're going to do this, I know it's something you can't see right now, but if you need to do this, or you're thinking about doing something like this, I would definitely connect all those cross members somehow. We used what we had in the angle, but doing it again, I would probably just get like a 2-inch wide flat stock, maybe like 3/16, something pretty thick, and just run it across the whole bottom and weld it to each cross member. That'd probably be the easier, quicker way to do it, and maybe even more stable. But you could do that. But what we did, like I said, this time around was pull all this off essentially to just put this panel in here. But now our machine, if we back it in here, so it's going to back right here, and our machine is 44 inches wide, and this is 48 inches wide. So our whole machine is essentially now balanced across all of these cross members, and essentially the whole frame really, and it's even connected to that back panel. So this is what we did to beef up our enclosed trailer to be able to haul the mini skid steer in here or anything heavy. This is a 10,000 pound trailer. It's got 5,000 pound axle, so depending on your trailer, it may be beefier than this. It may not be as beefy as this. I don't know, you have to take your floor off and look into it. But for a 10,000 pound trailer, this is about what you're gonna see underneath the floor. It would just be that wood sitting on these cross members. And if you're going to pull a mini skid steer in your trailer and do it regularly like we do daily, I would highly recommend doing something like this. This sheet that I'm standing on right here that we put in last week was literally $125 out the door, and then I painted it and had a few other miscellaneous costs in it, but not something that's going to cost costs you a lot, and it's really going to make an improvement to this trailer. So that's all we got for this one, guys. That is how we beefed up our enclosed trailer. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer those. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed this video or if it helped you out, give it a big thumbs up. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.